I'm back home from the theater from seeing The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. That is one of the funniest movie titles I've ever heard. This movie is essentially two guys, Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage, hanging out with Pedro Pascal, who's the Mandalorian, which I'm not the hugest Nicolas Cage fan, mostly because I just haven't seen the movies. Watching this movie made me want to go back and watch those Nick Cage movies that I haven't seen. I haven't seen Con Air, I haven't seen Face Off, which we see bits and pieces of in this movie. He's watching his own movies all the time to like study his acting that he's been doing, and he's having this mental crisis as an actor and like where he stands in his legacy and like why he's acting and why he takes so many roles, and he goes through all this stuff, and it's such like a in-depth look into an actor's mind. I'm much more familiar with the Nick Cage of modern day. Like, I loved Mandy, I loved Pig, I love these like tiny indie like dark crazy movies he's been doing lately, and this one is another one on there, even though this movie is much more of a comedy. And I usually don't go to the theater to see comedy movies. I like horror movies and sci-fi movies and fucked up stuff. But this movie made me laugh so much. It's one of the funniest movies I've seen in a while. The Mandalorian himself, Pedro Pascal, is hilarious in this movie. But this movie's like two buds on drugs talking about their favorite movies, and like they're going back and forth talking about their top 3 favorite movies in their life and how hard it is to pick a favorite movie because you're spanning over a century of great film. And there's just so much of this movie that I loved. And then they're talking about marketing, because in this movie they're trying to write their own Nick Cage movie, and they're talking about like what types of movies are sell nowadays and what type of movies, like how you market to an audience and how you got to shoot stuff for a trailer. And I loved all this. What do you got here? You got a tennis ball? Give me this freaking tennis ball. This review is filled with interruptions. I love The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. This is definitely like in my top 3 movies of the year so far. It's like this, The Batman, and Everything Everywhere All at Once are like the best movies I've seen so far this year. I want to watch this again. I love going to that Nick Cage museum, and just overall this movie was a blast. I'd say the third act was probably my least favorite part, when it delves more into an action movie and becomes an action movie over just like a commentary on Nick Cage's career. But they say themselves you have to make a movie with an action third act because most audiences don't want to sit through a film about film. It's rare for me to like a comedy movie because I just don't care about comedy movies. Really like The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Check out my Etsy. I make hand-painted horror hats. Etsy.com/shop/evilbroomstick, or just type in evilbroomstick.com. Peace.